first?
I'm Andrés Gómez from Colombia, and I'm going to explain. I'm going to share. Well, let me share my screen. Small presentation about the nodes in Colombia. Let me. Okay. What is happening here? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, it just came up.
Okay, perfect. So, well, I'm going to be brief. We started the project of node resolutions last year in Colombia, and then we replicate the same thing in all LATAM. The first thing is that we believe that the nodes are the voice of our map users. And we have to know that the map user is another community. They are not mappers. They are just users like the Instagram users, Facebook users. They see our maps, they create notes about some problems in the maps, and we have to solve them. And well, when we solve the notes few days later after they have been created, not years later, because that is the problem of the notes, that create an engagement with the users and we, the mappers. And that is creating a very interesting communication between us. And also that helps us to keep the map updated. Because, well, when, for example, a way is changed or a shop is closed, they will tell us immediately, well, immediately, no, but they will tell us that a map is having an issue. We will solve it as soon as possible. So that creates, that helps us to create, to keep the map updated. And for this, we have designed a methodology for node resolution. One thing important is the message that our reporters receive when we solve the nodes. And we invite the people to join our community, to join our Telegram channel, and to keep contributing to the map by creating nodes. And that is that in this way we have met many people that are just reporting things on the map, and we tell them how to create better nodes, like explain better, give more context about the nodes. From the other side, the mappers, we gather virtually together. We start to solve nodes in an event that we call notathons. We start solving nodes in each of our areas in parallel, and we work together for the same purpose, but in different areas. That is very interesting from our point of view. And for example, I have started from Bogota. I'm from the capital of Colombia, and I wanted to solve the 2,000 nodes that were open at the time. But the people that joined those events weren't from Bogota, they were from other cities. And it was very interesting because all of us were working in our cities, working for the map. And that creates a very good engagement with us. And also, one interesting thing about the nodes is that not everyone has the same interest on the map that as I have. So people like to, for example, want to put information about power, about crops in the fields, about buses, and that thing has made us, has pushed us to learn more about OpenStreetMap and to improve our mapping skills. That has been very interesting. And well, the impact of this project is that once we have finished the nodes in Colombia, we started to have meetings, Latin American meetings, all countries, and we wanted to replicate the model of Colombia in other countries. And that was the way to work together as a big region, because Latin America is a big region in the world. But the only way to work together is solving nodes. And each one was solving nodes in each own country. And we work for the same purpose, for the same objective. And this activity has made us to create a Telegram channel dedicated to nodes, to work together. For example, I work continually with people from Venezuela, from Brazil, from Chile, and we just talk about nodes. And it's a good discussion because we share some part of our history, but we are very far, and this is very interesting as an activity. And this is part of our team when I had the long hair. And the part of the members that we gathered together to solve nodes. That is, I wanted to give a very short presentation about our project. Probably, if we can talk about that, or do you have questions? Because this is a model that we can replicate in all the world to solve nodes and to push the power of the node, the possibilities that we can have with them.
Fantastic. Thank you, Andrés.
Okay.
Next up, we have Janet Chapman.
Hello, thank you, Maggie. Welcome. My name's Janet Chapman from Crowd2Map Tanzania. I hope you can see my screen okay and hear me.
Are you able to hit the present button so we can see your slides a little bigger?
Oh, sorry. Is
There
that
we go.
okay now?
That looks great. Thanks.
Okay, so I'm the chair of Tanzania Development Trust, which has been working with rural communities in rural Tanzania for the last 46 years. And in the context of visiting those projects, realized that the fact that rural Tanzania, like most of rural Africa, is really poorly mapped was a huge issue for navigation, for progress towards the Sustainable Development Goals, but also to help protect girls from female genital mutilation, which is an issue in some parts of Tanzania. So I started Crowd2Map 7 years ago now, and it's an entirely volunteer-run project that is mapping rural Tanzania into OpenStreetMap. So since 2015, we've trained over 17,000 volunteers from all over the world to map remotely. As you can see here, this has been mostly using the humanitarian OpenStreetMap tasking manager. This is an example. But we've also trained a lot of people on the ground in Tanzania, community groups, youth mapper groups, and individual mappers to add their local knowledge, particularly around things that are particularly important, like village names. We've also added open government data such as clinic and school locations, as you can see here, and then use this data, particularly water point location data, to work out missing village names. We have a very active Slack channel and where we give feedback to new mappers, share resources, and so on. If anybody would like to join, you'll be very welcome. I'll put the link in the chat shortly. We've also set up some quizzes and badges particularly for new mappers to train them. And if anyone is interested in helping develop these, please let me know. We have WhatsApp groups for mappers in Tanzania with at least weekly meetings. And we also have monthly meetings with youth mapper groups using Zoom, and we record all of these and put them on our YouTube channel. So obviously, engaging with local mappers is really the key point of what we're trying to do, build up a community of contributors. So we've set up, for example, digital champions. These were women who'd never been online before. They're particularly protecting and mapping their communities and mapping the safe places for girls at risk of FGM and gender-based violence. So FGM is illegal in Tanzania, but it's particularly prevalent in the areas shown, where girls are generally rounded up during a cutting season in the long school holidays. So this will be next month. And often these are in very remote villages, so it's very difficult to find girls in time, particularly if those areas are really poorly mapped. So these digital champions have been really instrumental in this. Because also FGM is a clan issue, clans are like sub-tribes. So we've started to produce maps showing the predominant clans in each village so that we can better plan when the cutting is more likely to happen. And then activists in the villages will phone the gender desk and the FGM activists that we're working with and tell them there's girls about to be cut in Cabancha village, and now Cabancha village and the key points there are now on the map, which means that they can be, those girls can be much more easily found quickly. So the FGM activists that we're working with estimate that having better maps has helped over 3,000 girls not to be cut. And every year when girls are cut, some of them will tragically bleed to death and die. So better maps are saving lives. But it's not just about FGM. We're trying to map all areas of rural Tanzania for progress towards the Sustainable Development Goals. So we're working with many different schools in remote areas, and in these schools, students can walk up to 4 hours a day to and from school. So we're trying to start mapping those areas so that then schools can say, we really need a hostel here to protect people from walking so far. And so that's also what we're doing. We've helped set up 16 youth mapper chapters in Tanzania now. And as I said, we have monthly meetings with them. And we were very heavily involved with the Everywhere She Maps campaign, which was a thing run by youth mappers to try and get more girls and women involved in mapping. So last year we had our first intake of interns, which were all African women, which was fantastic. And we've just taken in our second cohort now. So as I said, this is an entirely volunteer run project, and we're always on the lookout for more people to help, particularly with validating, with giving feedback to new mappers on our Slack channel, and to help with training and so on. But also help with social media and things like that as well. So if you're interested at all, I'll put my contact details in the chat, please get in touch. Next on Friday, we're having a session with TomTom, and who are demonstrating the map roulette challenges that they've set up for Tanzania. These are particularly around gaps in roads. So if you're interested, I'll share the registration also. Please do get in touch. But finally, we're organising the second State of the Map Tanzania in January, and this is going to be a hybrid conference. So if you're not able to come to Dar es Salaam, and it would be great to see people there, you will also be able to participate online. The call for speakers is open at the moment, so if you would like to contribute in any way, that would be fantastic. Please sign up. So that's me, that's our website, and our social media channels are on there, and my contact details. So please, if you are interested, please do get in touch, get involved. Thank you.